Hey there! So today we have another review. This is Lunchbox from Three Sons. So Three Sons out of, where are they? Let's go. Dana? Dania is how I read it, but I think it's Dana Beach. Who knows? It's Three Sons. They're in South Florida. This is Three Sons, famous for their Imperial Stouts, treated Imperial Stouts, barrel aged, pastry stouts, all that good stuff. So this is a fun label. Reminds me a little bit of Tripping Animals with the foil and all that, or foil coloring to some of the stuff. And they have the Lunchbox over here. So Lunchbox is a 7.4 brown ale with natural flavors. Is their peanut butter jelly stuff, or peanut butter brown ale. So really cool that we got it. So cool. Like we get like awesome stuff that is what we generally expect to be limited distribution brewery only stuff, but wow, you see that thick peanut buttery kind of stuff, like, you know, in the pour. So we're offering this extra brownish color to a brown ale. It offers this kind of like murkiness that is not quite right with a regular brown ale. It's actually not that dark of beer. It's a medium brown color, light to medium brown color, but it has this like extra like hue to it. This little bit rich of the peanut butter and light tan head. All peanut butter for days. I mean, it's straight peanut butter. You get roasted peanuts for days. Not much of the base beer is coming through. Yeah, cheers. Not bad. Yeah, it tastes pretty spot on. It's on the sweeter side, which I think people expect and want. It's got this peanut syrup kind of thing going on. Actually, we do peanut butter jelly sours at Ellipsis, and it has a kind of like peanut flavor to it. It's generally sweet beer. The base brown ale doesn't really come through too much, even though that beer has to be pretty big, right? With peanut addition, maybe it's a 7.4 beer in general. So it is Imperial Brown Ale. Honestly, wish there was a little bit more complexity to the base beer. It honestly is just a little bit sweet. It has a honey biscuit tone. It doesn't have a cinnamon of graham cracker, but that kind of complexity of graham cracker, kind of brown sugary thing comes in with the sweetness of maybe the malt and the addition of the peanut butter. It's quite a nice beer. Definitely drinkable. Yeah, quite drinkable. I just find it's a little bit one or two dimension in the sense there's some amount of the crystal malt or chocolate malt, whatever they're using. There's a little bit of like malt character to this one. There's a little bit of like nuttiness and slight chocolate flavor, and then the peanut butter rolls in. But I want a little bit more richness to like wrap up that kind of peanut butter flavor. I want a little bit more kind of like complexity of like Maillard reaction. Maybe, I don't know what their base malt is, but like, or what their malt bill looks like, but the, you know, a complexity of the base beer could help that out. Or maybe a punchier, that's what I'm saying. The punchier kind of brown ale would really help this out. And the thing is, you can definitely do it at 7.4. You know, at this beer at 5%, I'd be like, wow, impressive, crazy. You're crushing it with like a small, skinny, 5% brown ale that you're like throwing all this peanut flavor on top of it, and it's like so drinkable and nice. This beer ends up very syrupy, very honeyed, very sweet, without that kind of balance at 7.4, where you really can layer in. At 7.4, you can really layer in, you don't have to go all the way to 9-10%. You really layer in a lot of interesting specialty malts. Like, this beer could be I've listened to interviews, like, it's annoying, but you can make it a 6 to 12 malt beer and have all the rich complexities. And this beer definitely lacks that. Tasty for sure, but it's like a chocolate nutter butter, but not in the best way. Because I feel like you can go even more complex. It's just like a pullback flavor on that. It's very tasty, very good, but it's quite tasty. It's quite nice, but yeah. Anyway, those are my sort of like additions to what I have to say. The beer ends up a little sweet, which I like. I like sweet beers, but I want it to be built on a really nice base. And it's a little bit sweet for the sake of being sweet. Not too far, where it's like terrible, but it's good. So let's go the solid. For sure, impression beer. Actually, as you taste more, it's actually probably a pretty good base beer underneath. It's a proper, nice, pretty, like English style brown ale, or maybe just a not too roasty American brown ale, but it ends up a little sweet and like like candy like, and like sugary and brown sugary without the backbone that needs to be, in my mind, a little bit more roasty and a little bit toasty and a little bit marty, a little bit, oomph, 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 like Munich malt and Maillard and all that like nice pretty stuff that can really hold this beer a little bit better. It's a little bit 1-2 dimensional versus this beer can have like, ideally in my mind, like 4-5 dimensions, right? Like you want that boom, 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 boom kind of thing. It's like 1, 2, and it just dances around a little bit. So, and it's a little thin for 7.4. So, let's go with the solid 87. 87 is a very good score. That is Three Sons Lunchbox. But to me, like if you want to push impression with a beer that really, like I love, I'm not a big peanut butter fan in general. I actually hate peanut butter, come think of it. I don't like peanut butter at all. But in beers, it's actually quite fantastic when done very well. And this is quite tasty. 87. Until next time, guys. Cheers. Later.